and mudball lips readers. Oh, I'm actually here. Look at that. It worked. Can I be heard? Let's have a check. Check. Yeah, look good. Welcome back, everybody. It's 6 o'clock on a Sunday, 1st of June. Can you believe it? June already? Well, episode 156. This is Scuffed Epoch. I'm Drift Johnson. Hello, Fernicar. Hello, anybody else who's watching live or later. Don't forget, we have a Discord. Oh, what's it going to be? Yep, it's image sharing. That's lucky. You never know what's going to pop up. Links in the description. Oh, and yeah, these are all a bunch of demos for a new workflow, which we're going to take a look at in just a second. ArtGrid stuff. So let's take a look at that first. Battlecruiser operational, as they say. So let's dive into the workflow. Straight away, look at that, out the gate. Now, this is quite a cool workflow. It's reasonably complicated, and it makes a whole bunch of assets which use the different art grids to do various different things. We also have one up here which doesn't use an art grid and doesn't mix a LoRa, which we are doing. We are mixing a LoRa here. So let's just give you the breakdown. It's actually just model, prompt, image render, yeah? But then we also have this section going on for the image to image. This is built on the workflow that we started yesterday. And we're going to be doing a bit of a Sunday chill, but I want to get this one out of the gate first, because I know a lot of people just watch like the first half hour of the live shows for fun. I do encourage you to just get a drink and work on whatever you're working on. But yeah, so what we're doing here is kind of cool. Just to explain the prompt quickly, we're taking the prompt and we are putting the first part of the prompt, so we get the correct attire for our hero, Sharona, and then we're putting Cyber Society in the middle. V0, just the prompts for V0, and we're actually going to change that to the V6 in just a second. And then we end the prompt with the wrap. So it's wrapped like every Sharona prompt is, but we're replacing her location with a different prompt list, which is randomized. Okay. In addition, this is FluxDev FP8. And we're using Sharona V4 Fast, which we're going to be releasing today. And Cyber Society V66E8, which is already up on Civet. So, what the hell is going on over here? Well, this is a setup which takes the image from Zenkai control prompt. So I already have all of the assets pre-cooked: image, mask, depth, pose, canny, and prompt. So everything matches. And we're going to pull them out randomly. And what happens is SVG ArtGrid is going to automatically calculate the row and columns from the size of the image that's being put in, and it's going to make something like this. Now you've got control over all types of things, which symbols are going to get used, but it does image to image to map a palette, custom palette, to each grid to try and mimic the makeup of the background and the foreground. And then it gets resized just to make sure with stretch that it is actually, because as you can see, the pixel size does change. And then we're going to overlay our character back over the top. Now I do like to do an inversion, so we have this one as well. So we're keeping all of these. And then here's something new which we decided to try out, which is using different blend modes. So we're using color dodge at 90%. I mentioned this before, and I'm going to show you what the result is. It actually will relight the character to be slightly brighter in this case. Okay, and I guess the background is brighter in this case, but yeah. So that's what that does. And we're going to put some of these into image to image as well on the other side. We also use SVG ArtGrid V3, which has essentially got some more extra shapes and the ability to write some text Okay, so as you can see just here, it's got scuffed written in the top left corner. So it's more like for doing a title card or something like. And then when we look at that one inverted, oh no, sorry, just normal, we get something like this. And then here we get something like this. Now you don't have to pre-compute. You can use a bunch of like, you know, RemBG and preprocessors and whatnot to get the things out. So you can just use a normal image directory and a prompt list or something like that. But I find this makes it a lot easier because everything just kind of lines up nicely. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we also have, this is an experiment, trying to use ArtGrid v4, which doesn't really play nicely. I fed it with my ArtGrid dimensions. It always has a tendency to only go, because it's square, right? It has a tendency to only go to that side, right? So I had this idea, well, we can do a flip, right? We can just flip it, and then we can have it on the other side if we want. Same thing here, but we did invert. We've inverted the colors of just the background and then put her over the top again, right? Okay, so that explains what all that ArtGrid stuff is doing. So from that point, we go image to image. And as you can see, we got the influences of the Cyber Society mixed with the Sharona character. And we get various different effects due to the various different ways of putting the ArtGrids in. And these all came off the same generation. They're all kind of funky. This one is interestingly, do you notice how the color dodge has altered it greatly? This one is the color dodge. So it's giving us quite unique images. And the reason is because we used the color dodged character, right? So we did the overlay, but with a blend. So that means there's a whole bunch of new effects that are hiding inside the various different types. So yeah, that's one thing. And then, so yeah, this would be like the normal image to image result. And then this would be what happens when you ArtGrid it, right? This one is the same, but ArtGridded with the color dodge on the character layer with 90%. You obviously get different effects from different filters. Which one was this? This is the one with the title. So you know, you can't see the title once it gets denoised, but it's worth noting it's different, right? So it's a completely different kind of background. And then from the two, they're like this. We get like one side. She's doing crazy stuff because we're like merging a sci-fi Laura with a prehistoric Laura to see what happens. It came out okay. And then from all of that, we get these grid comparisons. So we keep all of the different ones, labeled them all. It's all saved for use if you want to do stuff with it later. Tweak all of the different variables and whatnot. And there you have the sort of final images, I guess. So what we're going to do is we'll do a quick run on the different Laura that I just changed. So I just changed it, not the Laura, sorry, the prompt. Prompt's going to change. And we're using the V66. So yeah, this should be interesting. Will this solve the problem of Ninja and Cyber Society weird proportions? No, that comes down to the aspect ratio usually, I think. Like if I go for, because right now we're using image to image. So this is the image that's actually been put in right now. But we're going to change the description of the, you know, it's not going to be at this location anymore. It's going to be at some other location described by the Cyber Society V66. So it does get a bit, you know, really what I should do is like take a portion of this prompt, because there's going to be stuff in there related to like people in armor. You know, it's not strictly a location prompt. So I might change that in a minute, but I just want to show what's going to end up happening here. Where are we? We're here. So it's doing the first image to image. It's just 30 steps at 0.81 denoise. Oh, the retrain. Ah. I don't know is the answer. I mean, to be honest, I don't really need to retrain the LoRa. I'm going to just sort of like keep an eye out for the files. I bet they're on like a hard drive or a different computer. The big problem I've had lately is new computers means old files sometimes are on the old machines. I could have sworn I put them onto a backup drive, but they're not on my NAS. So it's probably because I created them in a period of time when I didn't have the NAS. And also, I think a backup drive got wiped at some point. That was fun. Just before Christmas. Yeah. I lost like 4 terabytes. I think I had most of it backed up, but there would have been a few things that got nuked, you know. Oh wow, it's already down here. It does well to blend her into the world, I think. And these little sort of side-by-side type stuff, it leaves some room for text, or maybe you want to patch in something else, like a video of something, which you could like put there. I don't know. There's lots of other things you could do. But it's an interesting thing that it gives you like a full quality thing on the one side and nothing, you know? And of course, it's because we're injecting these into the image to image. I think I'm just doing that one and that one at the moment. There's this original comp there. Didn't change her pose this time, but it did make her brighter. You see what I mean? Like the rest of them are lit with more, I don't know, darker. It's made the color dodge has made her. It's kind of hard to say. It's definitely brightish. It's lit her up. She's lit up now. So yeah, like I said, that works nice. If we look at the final images here, they're not bad. Like it has effectively merged this character with this world, right? So let's just change the project folder so I don't mess things up. Oh wait, we'll change the LoRa combo first and then I'll change the name. So we'll change from that one to Empire Style. Is that a video? No, I think it's Empire Style Run 2. Interesting. I don't remember there being a Run 2. But then again. And then we change this one to 3MP Style. So I want to put her into Empire now, which is going to be tricky because that's like a future. It's still futuristic, but it's a completely different style. I wonder if it'll even work. Oh, can find out. Oh, don't forget to change the thing. Okay, E9 versus 3MP3R1. What? 1 R3 style. Man. Even I can't read it. Okay. Save that. And we'll put it on to instant mode. Let's go. Yeah, color dodge pushes to anime color palette. Yeah, interesting observation there, Fernica. I think you might be right. See, every now and then it changes the actual pose, but as you can see, the pose did change. That was the original. And it became that, which is like a completely different pose. Because of the art grid. Strange. Nah, wait a minute. Is that the new generation? I'm getting confused now. Yeah, why doesn't that match? Hang on, that is a bit too different. Did the art grid really do all that? Feels like somehow we've got a different overlay on that image, actually. That's a bit more than I would expect it to change, guys. Let me just... what's going on here? Where are you getting your image from? Wait a minute. Oh, that's why I'm confusing myself. Okay, so that's just the original image. But wait, no, it can't be. I'm getting so confused. Ah, it's the original image just done with image to image, no art grid stuff. Okay, fine. So it is correct. Okay, so this is what you get if you just do image to image. Not bad. It's Sharona in Empire. Her knee looks really weird, but there's all the Empire guys. Scout parade scenes. A dilapidated spaceship hovering above a snowy landscape. Yep, we got that. Ah, we're here. Oh wow. They're all like, women. It's tried to like Sharona-ize them. That's funny. I didn't expect that. I wonder what it'll do on the other side. Oh, that's not too bad. But yeah, look, it's Sharona-ized the Empire people. It's because there's like illustration of Scout. I wonder what color dodge is going to do. Oh. Did you ever see in Star Trek The Next Generation at one point there was like they had dudes walking around with this as their uniform? It's like it's very rare. Very rare. Maybe they're Scottish. Kilts. I don't know. Doesn't look like tartan. Oh my god. It's a little bit worrying. It's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, it just lit her up. Weird physiology in that one. Oh, next one looks interesting. The art grids look cool. So it's just walking towards the camera with an explosion. God knows what that will become. I like the inversions, and these are also pretty good too. I feel like maybe like putting this back over the top here. So like instead of doing, you know, do this effect like with, so you get the full background with the color. I don't know. Even that's pretty awesome as well. Look at that. Crazy. Gotta wait for them all to finish. God knows what it's doing. It's a big workflow. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Oh, okay. Right, okay. They're all Sharonas now, guys. There's the Sharona army now. That's funny. Oh, nice. Done all the grids. It's interesting how you get this side by side, and then depending on where the character is, she may or may not, you know, be over a grid. Which one's this? She looks like she's joined the Empire. Oh, that one is very good. Well, the faces in the back are terrible, but this is an interesting direction for the Sharona franchise. It's not canon, but it's an interesting direction. Oh, we got a bit of Vase going on. Don't talk about Vase. Yeah, we're going to get back to that soon, guys. I'm trying to do some image stuff because it's all about video these days. And I think that foundational skills start with image. As you get good at prompting, you understand all the stuff. That's interesting though, because it's kind of kept her like Sharona should be in this one, and then these guys kind of became a bit like her. Otherwise, that's a normal output for Empire. And then this side, when she's in the image, you see what I mean? It's kind of like a pseudo vase. I'm not trying to do that. All we're doing is this. But it is kind of interesting that it is having a similar effect. Makes you wonder. Let's see. So we got our end results. I mean, this one's the best one because I like the massive scale architecture in the background. And these guys aren't Sharona'd. They actually kind of look a bit like Empire guys, you know? This is epic, actually. Damn that rock! If you've been on the stream before, we know this rock. This rock's almost as famous as Sharona. It kind of looks a bit like a skull, and it appears everywhere. It's in her Laura. That's where it's coming from. The faces are so bad on the people in the background. But that's acceptable. That's acceptable. You can face swap that easy. So what are we looking at for the next one then? Oh, okay. All right, so she's walking in a bunch of old pillars or something with strange symbols on. I could have sworn this is actually the wrong data set, by the way, because that's not the latest model. This is Mid-Journey with a face swap. It's like clear. What's going on? RDM Sharona character 4. We should be using Sharona 4. I've been using the wrong one all this time. Right. Kill the engines. Stop the press. We're using the wrong thing. I gotta... really though? That's the best I can do. It's the best I can do on the spot. Okay, right. Whoops. Wrong one. My bad. I was wondering why they all came out looking like Mid-Journey. I was looking at the background going, that's Mid-Journey though, with a face swap. And oh my god, it's a whole army of them. The cloning project's getting out of control, guys. So we've changed the thing. Let's put it back to instant mode. Hey, Kurt Curtis, welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody watching. So glad you could join us. It's just a Sunday chill stream. We start a couple of hours early when we can on the Sunday. Thanks for joining. And yeah, like I said, we're working on this strange art grid project. If you missed the beginning of the show, we're actually doing a whole bunch of different techniques at once. You can actually see what's going on there a little bit better. We have all of the art grids in the bottom left. We have the prompt in green here. We have the model stack up here in yellow. And then we have various outputs. It's all running the same thing. And we have a bunch of compares at the end. So we're doing image to grid with a bunch of different overlays and stuff. And you can get my custom nodes in the SVG suite. There you go. There you go. See? Difference. See the difference? It's a huge difference. So this is the version 4 Sharona. And we're working with the data set right now. We're doing color dodge with 90% at the bottom and then inverted. That's an interesting effect which we've been looking at. And then once you put it through image to image, no control net or anything yet. We're not doing pose yet. It seems like we're getting away with it, so we actually had it misaligned and I didn't even notice. So up until now I've been using the previous data set. Oh, okay. Okay, they're not like, they are Sharona'd, but not fully. Okay, that's actually a pretty good pose. The hands are good. Oh! Different grid. Check that out. So this is the image to image. This is what you would have gotten if you'd used the exact same setup I've got right now. You would have got something like this. which is our character, Sharona. She's from like a completely different story, and she's currently in the Empire universe, which is like redcoats, okay? Robot redcoats. Simple concept. Now, when we do the art grid, oh, we've got some, what the hell, giant soldiers in hot pants. Now, fixing these guys is just an in-painting challenge where we remove her. It's actually not even hard. So I'm not really bothered about this. But this is it. This is really funny. So it is actually blending the two. We're getting the architecture from Empire. We're getting the massive scale architecture. Well, it's not quite as big as usual. It looks a bit like a tourist spot here. But yeah. So this is working super well. Let's see. Did we get the result from... we're going to get the result from... Right, so this is the normal V2 art grid. We were looking at the V3. So V2 gives us this. I love how they've got like red kilts now. It's great. They're like becoming Sharonified. Now, obviously, there is a way to fix that, and that is to use masking with LoRa hooks. We haven't done anything with that for ages, so maybe we'll have a mess around with that in a bit. But essentially what that means is different LoRa stack inside the mask. So I'd actually generate... Well, it's kind of difficult to do. But yeah, you have a different LoRa stack inside the mask than outside the mask, and then that will separate it. The challenge is doing it dynamically with all this other stuff. I might just start again. Okay, so what happened when we did the... Oh, wow. So this is the color dodged invert. So we've only color dodged the overlay in the mosaic. So let me just show you that. So here we have... This is the normal technique. You make the grid from the image and then put the character back over the top. I mean, I like these on their own. These look great. And then we have the inversion just to show you what's actually going on behind there, right? And again, I like these as well. You print these out, they look great. And so then we're experimenting with different layer blends. So this one is color dodge, but we invert it. So we're only color dodging the character at 90%. Yeah. When we put that through, it gives that brightening, like relighting effect. Okay. It's on instant mode now, so God knows. I'd have to, you know what, we're going to go over to the comparisons because it's going to get difficult to understand which one goes with which. Okay. So. Normal image to image, V2 image, art grid style, and then this is the V4, which is a very dense grid, but only on one side of the screen. And I think that can be used for different effects. Sometimes it just looks chopped off, so I can put like text here or something, right? But other times, it actually does try to like make it like, oh, it's just a black sky or something. I don't know. It's just a really black, it's just a black void. Because look, it's like edged or everything nicely, which is kind of cool. I mean, you think all of this is coming from the same job, you know what I mean? We're just kind of splitting out things we want and then creating these new compositions. So we're currently working on this one, which we kind of had a quick look at. The art grids look like this. So for this one, I've inverted the grid as an experiment, but we're not pushing that into a diffusion right now. Essentially, it gives a completely new environment, but sometimes it's very abstract. In fact, you know what? We should probably just set one up real quick. It doesn't even take long. So I'll just grab one of these people here, put that there, and then get the invert and put it in here, and then change the thing to say INV. Oh wait, yeah, flip invert, yeah. Well, no, actually it's negative. And there won't be a comparison, but I'll get a result which we can look at. Okay, save that. So anyway, if we take a look at the results of the one we were looking at before, this is what we end up with. So first we get the original image, which would have had like, you know, I'm loading in the Empire Laura, so the background is all like Empire stuff. You see what I mean? And she's got some Empire features. Yeah, there's some errors, but these are minor. You can just edit them out. She's got a rifle now instead of a staff. Okay, but just doing image to image, it's only doing like the background and stuff. For this one though, because of the art grid, it's got a completely new background, which is much more like the sort of megastructure type architecture you see in the Empire Laura, but it's left her alone. We have ended up with a weird, she's got a hat on. So it's, yeah. And then, oh my goodness me, the Empire Brigade. Scaling the wall. So like oh wow, look at that proportion. That's a winner right there. But mostly it's actually pretty solid. You know, I'm surprised. It's getting a much more aggressive attempt at getting the backgrounds out of the second Laura, basically, is what I'm seeing. Normally in image to image it would be like, oh well, this is what you got, but this gives it a sort of scrambling, I guess, which allows it to try and have another go. So here we go with the next one. So there's a lot more of this, there's a lot more pose and background diversity in the V4. So like I said, we worked hard on this one on the lives over the last couple of weeks. And then this technique, we just kind of stumbled on it really, but you can go to scuffedepoch.com/artgrid-studio and see an interactive demo of all the different ways you can generate these things. But what it's doing is it's controlling two things at once: the color seeding for the initial steps, and then also it's averaging out all the detail. It kind of like denies high frequency detail and only gives low frequency detail during, so early steps still get all the colors, but then during the high steps, this is the only high frequency detail in the image that's put in. So that's where all the attention goes, as far as I can tell. So check that out. She's effectively blended into our world, right? Isn't that cool? Obviously you need to have a bunch of cool style models and stuff, and it's not free of errors. You know, you can see the bleeding, which is what I want to attack as we chill out today. Just want to attack that a little bit. We've also got some other stuff to do, but like I said, this is pretty much what we're going to be messing around with. All of these tools are available. You can download them. I've open sourced it all. It's on my GitHub. There she is. She's supposed to be looking at the moon, or maybe a bird. It's interesting how this completely changed, like it completely changed the compositions, which is kind of cool. And obviously we're not entering our prompt in, we're sort of at the mercy of RNG, because this is how I'm driving the generation. We're doing the first part of the character Laura to make sure she's wearing the right clothes and everything, and then the last part to wrap, and then we're just using a randomizer. So this could be anything, God knows what it is, right? From a completely different Laura. And then we're loading in the second Laura at 0.7, and Sharona V4, this is the V4 fast version. Not my latest train, but I think it's interesting because the way they trained it, they did a bunch of stuff that I don't normally do, and it's kind of loosened her up without losing any detail. So I'm quite happy with it. It does make the occasional weird face, but this is like, you know, if I wanted to do like a Sharona Empire crossover, it's not even hard. Not even hard. And so I was wondering, so here's the discussion, right? Let's say I wanted to do attention masking, right? Well, that would work for the image to image because she doesn't change. But as you can see in this process that we're doing, sometimes she does change a lot. So if I used a mask that's pre-configured, yeah, which I can do, I could just put the mask in. We could try and see if we can use those hooks instead of the LoRa loader. But my experience was it wasn't very good at understanding the setup we use. I think that's why not a lot of people used it, even though it is really cool. But yeah, the concept is really simple. Our character only gets her LoRa, and in the background only gets its LoRa. That's the concept. But I think in practice it doesn't quite work as simple as that. It's funny though to see the Empire guys all in kilts. It's kind of funny. Hold up. That's my neighbours. Right. So, anyway, before we start messing around and breaking everything, let's take a look at some of these, which we made earlier. I probably got hundreds of them. I left it on overnight. So, you know, depending on what you do with the strengths and what LoRa it is that you're using, you're going to get all these different effects. And I think this is all using the the Mid-Journey version to supply it, which is kind of funny. But yeah, much better. The face is much better. Now we just need to figure out how to stop the background. See, the trouble is, if I do attention masking and she moves her position, it's not going to fit, because this is the shape. And as you can see, it's completely different. So I like, you could do like attention masking on this, that would work, but the rest of them I don't think it's going to work. I mean, what do I know? Maybe it will stop it from changing position. Alright, well, let's have a little bit of a mess around and see if we can figure that out. So if I just type LoRa and then mask, I don't want to see if anyone's added anything. No, it's all just hook. Right, so create LoRa hook, create model as LoRa, but that's got a checkpoint name. What have you missed? You've been busy today and forgot the early start. You missed everything, dude. No. Doing art grid stuff. If you're familiar with the art grid, we got several ways of implementing the art grid with image to image and then overlaying our character back on top. We can obviously do the inversion. You've probably seen that before. We're also doing color dodge today, but we're doing it inverted with just the character at 90%, which is a new one. Also, I've got the V2 version doing the same thing, but it produces a slightly different grid because it's different code. So that means you get a slightly different background, which ultimately, you know, leads to different effects in image to image. It's all using the new art grid dimensions calculator. You fit your width and the height. You got to switch them around, but then you hook up the rows and columns. You got all these different options. And we're also doing the art grid V4, which unfortunately is locked to being square at the moment, but it has a bunch of weird options in it. And then we're inverting it to make it do both sides, and that gives rise to a bunch of these cool sort of compositions. We're also inverting the background to show what that does, and just straight image to image, by blending the Empire LoRa with the Sharona LoRa, you just get this. This is all image to image. We're using my Zenkai control prompts, so we don't have to do a bunch of RemBG and all that stuff. It's already set up to match. Everything matches. So here we have a arc gridded, same thing, but arc gridded. So there's a lot more influence from Empire, I think you can agree. Like I said, this isn't bad, but it's kind of light, yeah? And then when we do the color dodge on the character, it's relit her to be much, much brighter. And I think it does match the, it spotlights them a little bit more. Like, that's a bit dark. I don't know. But it does right now infect everything. So when you're loading the two, you know, what we're trying to do now is make it so that the character gets one LoRa and the background gets the other, which would essentially keep them separate at that point. Because look, the Empire guys are becoming LoRafied, Sharonified. Other than that, though, it's all looking really good. Like, everything else is looking very nice. The side-by-side stuff, you end up with this, which I think is working quite nicely. And then when you look at it on the other side, we get a completely different thing going on, right? But from, you know, and then inverted again, completely different location, Sharonified Empire. And then I've made a bunch of comparisons so you can check out the grids that went in, the different compositions that we're working with, and then the results. It's kind of interesting how this works, though. I like this, like, it's like bleeding off the edge, you know. I like that. It's very cool. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can make this workflow better by separating, because we have got a mask. We've got the mask. It's right here. We're using it to do all of the layer stuff. So what I wonder is, instead of just running the LoRas, you know, actually have another power loader. See, the problem is I think it slows down inference a lot, right? Because it has to actually, like, it can't load both. It has to load that, then load the other one, do the thing, then go back to the other one, do the thing. So it's like the loading time of switching between the two, I think, can slow it down a lot. But I guess we're going to find out, because right now it's just already set up like this. If I'm being honest, I can't remember. I know I set it up with something to do with create hook LoRa, right? Attach LoRa hook to clip. Ooh. Use native comfy nodes instead. Oh, okay. Alright, it's been done already, has it? Hook? I bet everything doesn't have it in the name. Create hook LoRa. That's what we got. I used to use that. What's this? Create hook MO. Don't know. Unsampler hook provider. Nope. Set clip hooks. Because I'm thinking, I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. I don't know, right? But I'm thinking if I had Sharona, where's Sharona Fast? If I had Sharona Fast on there, and then I had like Empire style on here. Surely put the clip in. Set clip hooks. I've already got that one. Hook keyframes. No, I'm trying to remember what it is. I can't remember if it's a special sampler or what. So you got combine hooks. Okay. Do you have to put the checkpoint in first? Because if you do... Oh, wait, no, I can. I've got Flux Dev. So... Man. Hook, combine. Hook, combine. Detailer, no. Comfy core. Combine 2, combine 4. Let's go with combine 2, right? So let's just think about that. So okay, so you would have Flux Dev combined with Sharona on its own, and then you would have... I'm just trying to think this out, guys, because I built a workflow on it before, but it was like, you know, it was their example, which I just sort of cleaned up a bit. So I wonder if you get something like that, you should have Flux Dev with Empire on this one, and Flux Dev with Sharona on this one. But then what happens? Hook. It's all part of the thing. Hooks keyframes. Hooks Laura. Hooks Laura. It's probably got like a different name. Stupid. You've got to have the same name in it. Otherwise, how am I going to find all the stuff? I mean, I think I'm going to have to load up my workflow and take a look at it, guys. I was hoping to just do it. Do it. No. Can't find it. So there's some kind of like... Oh, don't tell me it's a K sampler. Is it some... No. Okay. Alright. Let's go and take a look at what's going on here. Whoa! Okay. It's like the back of her head. Oh wow, but it's still fixed it for the half and half. Still making cool stuff. Alright, well, let's just let it end. Wherever it ends. What the heck? She's like balancing. Oh, it changed. What? So how did it get that? Yeah, it's very confusing when it's like running in instant mode. You don't really know which bit it's doing. All right, let's take a look. It's going to finish. So in my workflow pack, I have something somewhere. High jack, low jack. Low jack flux. Now, which one do I want? The mask only is what I want. Let's download that. And we'll put it over here just so it doesn't interfere. Okay, so motion mask, huh? Oh yeah, this is all my complete craziness. Probably doesn't even work. Flux dev. How many steps is it on? Eight. Yeah, try 28. Interesting. I wonder if I could just repurpose this actually. interestingly, I have Flux Dev here. Flux Dev here. It is doing what I want though. Okay, I got an idea. I just steal this. Okay. So it's Flux anyway. And I want to do this Laura. Cool. I get that. What I don't get is why I have to create hook model as Laura here as well. You would think with this setup, all I've got to do is put a hook Laura there. Because why would you have it be... Well, I guess just because it's just plain, I guess. It's weird. I'm going to intuit and see if I'm wrong. And we're going to put that one there, that one there, hook, hook. Right, now it might be that I have to invert the mask or something, but it's essentially set up to do what I want it to do, right? The only other thing is obviously prompt control. So I'll just take this. And I can get that out of the way. Okay, so prompt control. Right. Ah. Ha ha ha. So, no filler for the character only side, because it's just the character. And then for the background side, for the background side, I could get rid of the whole of that and just do this, actually. Because we're not really blending the two anymore. We'll have a bit of that. See how that works. Okay. So that one obviously going to go in there. So then the background is Empire, the foreground is Sharona. It's on Dev. I'm just trying to think, what have I missed? Obviously the mask and so on. So it's got an image there for the image size adjuster. So yeah, it's all being set by this thing here. So we get rid of it. This isn't going to have that stuff in it, so we're going to have to borrow the stack from the other side real quick. Over here. So let's just grab that lot. One, two, three. Now I think it's got a different noise system, so we probably don't need the seed, but we'll see. What else could we do here? Let's see. So we got the prompt system. Let's just sort of put that somewhere useful, I guess. Very strange setup we've got going on here today. Very strange. But it is what it is. Right, now I just need to get my assets. So, to make life easy, it's just going to be one of those. Boop. So, I do think it's worth keeping all of the checks. So I'll get something like that. Or in fact, let's just, yeah. Because I think sometimes when you make the thing, the images don't all come out the same size. I'm going to have to fix that with the creator, just to make sure all the images are the same size at the end. So at the moment, I've been adding this on, so that anything I pull out is always the same size. It's just like a double check, really. But yeah, so obviously, if I put, this is the image that's coming out. There it goes there, it goes there. That's my primary output for images, take off to the workflow. And then with the case of the mask, and like I said, usually it's because ControlNet doesn't make an exactly the same pixel size. You can stretch, so it will match, right? Bilinear blurs it a bit, but these are inputs to be denoised anyway, so it shouldn't matter. So I'll go mask into the image resize, and now it's going to make sure that that mask, no matter what, will match. It's going to match. And we can also do, like, you know, auto sizing for 512, 1024 and 2048. I just use SDXL on 64, and that'll make sure that you're divisible nicely for tiling and everything else. And the beauty of doing it like this is everything's pre-baked, so we don't need to do any of that computation in our workflows. I'm going to be using the same images over and over and over again for artistic effects, so what's the point of cooking them every single time? Also, we get a good prompt which is actually aligned with what's being fed. As it happens, that particular prompt has been broken into a template for manipulation. So this is a little bit more advanced, but it's nothing you haven't seen before. Okay. Right, so that means I can get rid of the Zenkai. Probably, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. So we can get rid of that. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that for now. Now, this might not work, guys. So, what's this here? Image size adjuster. I think that would be my image input. And it looks like I'm doing a, you know, I'm doing a size adjuster there as well. That's fine. It's not going to cost much. See, it's all about trying to make sure everything's the right size. Should be making sure. Stretch into here. So that'll give it dynamic size. So whatever image goes in, it will be that size. I think they're all 16:9 in this case, but oh. Invert mask, right? So we might not need to invert the mask, but we'll plug that one in there. Just trying to think if there's anything we've missed here. Unless I broke the workflow. Forget a lot of this stuff there, it's outdated. We got rid of all of the looping mask stuff. Okay, right. Let's give it a errors. No errors? That's outstanding. Okay, so it might be that it's backwards, but it hasn't exploded yet. Where's my output? Okay. Right. 8 minutes. 4 minutes. God dang. Two minutes. It's having fun with this one. I hope it doesn't destroy itself. Well, this will be nice though if it works, because I'll put the workflow out, but you know, got to see it work, right? What the hell's going on with the path here? What the heck? What the heck? Oh my god. Okay, that's glitched. fix node. Oh boy. Split, Laura. Split. Flex. Oh boy. 1 minute 25, 1 minute 30. Yeah, we almost blew it up. See, if you remember, guys, I built this workflow way back in machines, I want to say machines 10, maybe. And that was when my computer kept crashing and like taking forever to load anything. We're going to have to do another one because it's going to save to a weird location, if it even saves at all. There was something wrong. There was a full path in the subfolder. So that's not going to work. Probably never going to actually find that file, if it even saves. I hope it didn't like crash. So what are we taking? Oh, 2 minutes 30. And it's pretty good. I mean, it's weird. Very weird. It does look like it's separated the two, but it's not a very nice output. I wonder if we can fix the CFG. Strength 1. Yeah, I knew it. I had failed to put the CFG up from the distilled Schnell setting, so that's all that was. So that means the next roll is going to be good. I'm going to parameterize the primitive for the project name. And just bring that up to the top. This is actually looking pretty good. I think it's going to work. Save it. There's no way to make it faster, is there? Well, I suppose we could reduce the steps. I'm going to go down to 20 just because I know that the CFG change will be big. But it has separated them for better or worse. I wonder if I could implement the arc grid into this. Probably be quickest to use the V2 pathway. Let's just let's see this one finish, and I'll show you, because it's a nice way to show how to integrate it. In fact, I may as well. Yeah, let me just save this workflow. I'm pretty confident. It turns out it's terrible. Right. So, image comes in, do a bunch of stuff, throw it in arc grid here. So really, all I need is that chunk and, well actually I'll just grab this top line here, yeah. Just grab that whole chunk. That'll do it. Okay. Now the question is, how do we turn this into an image-to-image workflow? Well, that should be straightforward, actually. So if I just come in and look for the empty latent image node, we're obviously going to replace that with a VAE encode. No need for tiling or any fancy business. This will be fine. And then that's where this guy comes in. Obviously he needs an input, so the input will come from up here, because we are going to be using the original background, like that. Okay, and so this will be all the background stuff. Now for the layer image, again, it's just this one again. Just grab 2 of those. 2 noodles, please. Try not to miss. We then get the... Oh my goodness me. Something happened. Don't worry about it. Get this. Layer mask. This one. Layer mask. Oh. Okay. Yep. And then I guess we just run it and see how it comes out. So low jack there, low jack there. The only thing I can think of is that we could be driving the size of this, but yeah. So we'll get an image info. Image size. I prefer KJ nodes because it includes a count, and I think it does actually just tell you what the numbers here. You don't have to make a bunch of reading nodes. I think just to reduce the old noodling there, we'll put one in like that. Okay. Composition, no big block. Resize it to what? Ooh, see? So what we need here is to just pass this up. So then it's like everything's the same size. We're just trying to make sure everything's the same size. That's all. If it means the image gets stretched a bit, that's okay. So we're going to be saving the invert as well, just for fun. Now the idea is that this one is going to go in here. Kind of like that. And then once we're ready, we'll just basically swap it over to attach here. So let's just find out what's going on here. What's going on here? Something went a bit wrong there. Not enough steps or CFG too high, not sure which. We'll have to put it to the standard 28. And I hate space. Classic. Is this a restream? No. Hello, FX Node. No, it's not a restream. I just didn't look at the chat for 2 minutes. Let's see. Have you used the Vase video control net? Yes, I wrote one when it came out weeks ago. There's probably a new one, right? There's always new ones. We're currently doing image stuff at the moment. Oh, hang on. We got a crazy video. Oh, that is a lot of stretch. That is a lot of stretch. I think we need to feed... Well, we did feed it with the image dimensions. That was a lot of stretch though, right? Oh, I know what it is. You have to put it in backwards because the grid is actually on its side. Yeah, look what happened. It's got a mismatch. This is why I have so many previews, so I can see this stuff straight away. Yeah, the next one will be better. That's funny. I used to ban cars. Yeah, to be fair, we'll all be walking. Yeah, this is all live new stuff. We've been doing all kinds of stuff all week, so we're just having a bit of a chill out today. If you want to talk about something, go ahead and ask in the comment in the chat right now. You know. But yeah, we've definitely used Vase Video Control Net. Let me just see if I can pull one of them up here. So let's see. If I just type Vase, see what happens. So we got Vase start end frame V14. We got basic, ref to vid v10. We got combined. There's... okay, so that's it. Apparently it's 3 files. So let's just have a look and see. So one of them is in one video. This was for the 1.3 billion. So I don't think that matters though. I think you just give it a new one, baby. If we have to update them, we can update them. More ref to vid. So yeah, we put the 3 up 2 months ago. So this would be for the 1.3. Now the 14 billion is out. I would advise just load the workflow and try to put the 14 billion in the place of the 1.3. Chances are it's going to work the same. You might need to update Comfy UI. But yeah, ref to video obviously is a reference. Combined is like a bunch of different things, and it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, check them out. Where are we? We're here? No, we're here. Right, we're waiting for this. We're testing out the LoRa hooks right now. Direct 3D S2. Yeah, there's lots of stuff coming out nowadays, huh? So we're kind of doing a thing. Obviously I've got all of these lovely images which are coming out of this technique that we've worked on for the last couple of weeks. And we're putting them all through the image to image in various different ways. It's all like programmatic with custom nodes. And then we end up with sort of like this kind of thing. We've got our main character, but she's in a different universe. We're deliberately loading her into a different universe, see what happens. Yeah, you end up with stuff like this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's pretty good though. And so I thought, well, why don't we stop these concepts from bleeding? Feels like that didn't work. However, this is now working. So we've got that set up. But now I'm a bit worried about whether this is working. Maybe I have to put the model on one side. Because that was part of the original tutorial. Let's try it before we get crazy. So, model hook. This is like a new thing that got brought in and everyone quickly forgot about it. So I'd love to use it. What does MO mean? Previous hooks. Interesting. Create hook model as LoRa MO. Right, so hang on a minute. No. So I need to go hook model, create hook model as LoRa, and then pick Flux Dev. And then just do this. I think that might work better. I'm not sure if you're supposed to put it up here. See, in the demo, you had create hook model and then a LoRa. That's how they did it. Also, I'm not sure if this is really supposed to be inverted right now. I'm like worried if it's the wrong way round. But what we should be getting is just Flux Dev, and then according to the mask, I need to get previews, man. We need previews. What the hell's going on? Okay. That'll do for now. But yeah, basically, it's worth a little take it easy type session. LoRa training resolution and output resolution must match, he says. No. Oh, wait, are you talking about Direct 3D S2, mate? Because if you are, you might be right. I've never used it. So I just want to clarify what I just said, because I'm talking about what we're doing. If you're still talking about Direct 3D S2, I've never tried training Allura on that. Oh my god, that's terrible. It's not working. I think maybe I've got my mask backwards or something. Like maybe I don't need to invert it. See, let's see here, right? Invert mask, false. Yep, don't need to invert it, mate. Let's just mute it in case you do. And then you still can. In fact, I'll put it outside so you can't, like, accidentally unmute it. Because we do have some, you know, controls here. Alright. So, my ultimate goal is actually to switch over to image and use a composition. But I need to know that the thing is doing the thing. It'd probably work easier with image to image, actually. Alright, we'll give it one more blast. Have I actually changed anything here? Yeah, I changed this bit. And I fixed the stupid mask being backwards. So actually this might make a big difference. It might be that it was doing everything backwards, which it does kind of look like. Okay. Right, so now we know what we're dealing with. We have Sharona touching her jaw, standing on some stairs, overgrown, right? That's what we've got. But the prompt that we've got, something else I need to show. I need to see what we're actually, you know what I mean, what we're putting into it. Let's do that one so we actually see. Oh wait, hang on, there's two prompts, so it's just this one. Actually, it's just this one. Yeah, it is just this one. That's the bit that's randomizing. I don't need to see the whole prompt, because the funny thing is we're actually only prompting Sharona inside the mask, and then we're going to prompt Empire outside the mask. That's everything that we just did is purely so that we can prompt outside the mask with a Laura, and then prompt inside the mask with a different Laura. That's what we've all done. That's all this. It's doing create hook model as Laura right now, so clearly things have to happen. Save it. Just image. Okay, so when you're training image Lauras, it's a good idea to mix dimensions. So, you know, split it up, have some wide ones, some tall ones, some square ones, you know, try to mix it up. There's bucketing, so it will automatically pick the sizes and train them for you, but like it'll go into specific size groupings, you know, depending on but when you're doing inference, it's whatever your system can handle. Sure, some models might be better than others at certain dimensions, but there isn't really a restrict, or there shouldn't be. If it's a well-trained image model, there shouldn't be a restriction on the sizes. I mean, look, it depends on the architecture, right? This is partly why I always do this. Where is it? I always do this. Points at thing that isn't there. Oh yeah, here he is. So to make sure that my width and height is divisible by 64 every time, I use a combination of my image size adjuster node with an input image. So the input image comes in. We say I want it to be 1024 by 1024. Okay. But then it must also divide by 64. So this is like an automatic best aspect ratio tool. And then what you do is you go width and height in, done. And you obviously only have to probe the first frame, and then it's the same settings for everything else. And he says, what about video? Video's completely different, because video doesn't work on 1024 by 1024. Usually works on a 1280 by 720 or a 640 by 480. There are other sizes, but it's a little bit different because early ones weren't trained in 16:9, so they were like 4:3. because they were trained on, you know, that video resolution. So that's the reason for that. You know, 360p, 480p, those are 4:3 standards. So they're not 16:9, right? It's not true widescreen. It's TV. But then as you get the new models coming out, they're trained on 720p, so they're 16:9. No worries. My pleasure. Are we going to get... Oh, no. Have I broken it? Right. Where's my stopwatch? Uh-oh. Okay, so you can't do that, sucker. All right. Try again. Without the stupid thing there that doesn't work. Obviously, when it said previous hooks, he meant something else. Or I did it wrong. Whatever. Okay, so this is what we're sending. No, wait, we're not even sending that in yet because we're still messing around with the goddamn actually getting it to do what it's supposed to do. Do you know what? I'm going to plug it in anyway. So now we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that. There's my seed. It's currently fixed. Like, you might think it's slow, which it is, but we're actually loading 2 pipelines at once, so I expected it to be slow. This is supposed to create hooks for each LoRa, and then as you can see... Hang on a minute. Something's not right here. Stop the generation. I know what's going on. Stupid. I am. That's me. I deleted it because I hooked it up wrong because it didn't make sense. Right. So first of all, we have a mask coming in here. Let's just put a reroute there. We got the invert still. Good. It's not a complete waste. So basically what I did wrong there, I was supposed to get a reroute and put one in there and then put the inverted one in here. Makes sense when you think about it. But I forgot. Okay. So now we have, you know, it might be the wrong way around, but again, I don't think it is though. I think this will be okay. Does this need Sage or Triton? I don't use any of that stuff because I realise that most people aren't into cutting edge development tools and don't have, you know, all of that stuff. If you use it, you should expect to see some speed improvements with some tools, but not all of them. And it may reduce the quality of the outputs to some degree, depending on what you're actually doing. So, but because I want people to see the real speed, not the nitro or turbocharged, which you can do custom yourself if you know how to do it, I prefer to show people what they can just get out the box. So I don't use flash attention, I don't use Sage, I don't use Triton unless it's absolutely necessary, you know. And even then I'm like begrudgingly using it. Okay, it's nothing personal. I just think it's like if you need a surgeon's toolkit, maybe you're a doctor. That's all. And like there's a lot of artists that use Comfy and they're really skilled, but they're not Python developers, with respect. You know, I wouldn't even call myself a Python developer, and I can write Python. But you know, I'm just trying to say, you know, I think some things get a little bit technical, and I don't try to drop people in the deep end, if that makes sense, because there is a deep end. You know, you can build everything yourself from source if you want. But like I said, I consider that the deep end. I try to keep us in the shallow end, shall we say, looking at the creative applications rather than can we make it 10% faster with an hour of messing around in a command line, which you can definitely do. And you might even get 25% faster. If you're asking me, though, the real speed gains actually don't come from that. They come from re-implementing all of this source code to TensorRT or CUDA and like, you know, properly taking it from what is a demo, you know what I mean, to being a fully developed product grade, you know. And you can do that with vibe coding as well for fun if you want. It gets a bit crazy, but you can do it. And that will give you 4 to 5 times the speed up. That's what people don't tell you. But yeah, like TensorRT will give you 2 to 3 speed up straight out the box. And if you're using CUDA tools and accelerating the actual Python itself, yeah, and there's lots you can do, like I say. But it's easier just to install Triton or Sage because, you know, when you're a developer, you're just trying to prove something works usually. But you might notice that by the time something that came out gets to being usable, they've done a lot of work to it, right? And that's what I mean. So let's see, is this going to work now? Because the last one was a horror show. I mean, the style's okay, but whoa, didn't work. I had some problems with the masking. Hey, Zeus, welcome to the stream. So glad you could join us. We're doing a bit of a early slot today. So I do finish a little bit early on a Sunday when I do my early shows, but it's extra time. Uh-oh. That didn't work. Wait, so does that mean it's the wrong way round? Hang on. I think this means it's the wrong way round. I don't know, though. It's hard to say. We should be getting one LoRa on one side and another LoRa on the other side. Ignore what's written here. That's not the prompt. So the prompt is illustration of a soldier. Person in a red and blue uniform holding a rifle with a scope. I mean, that is the LoRa, but it's like, where's the other person? Where's the other person? I feel like maybe it's like the wrong way round. Just like, I'll try it. So let's try inverting that one and just going straight on that one. Well, we're doing a bit of an experiment. You've installed TensorRT tab in SD Forge, but haven't tried to use it yet. Well, the thing about TensorRT and all that stuff is, unless the code that you have has actually been edited to use it, there's not gonna be a real benefit. Yeah. So, like, you know how when you install pip packages, you get like OpenCV and NumPy, things like that. There's accelerated versions of those packages, which are much faster. And, you know what I mean? It just speeds everything up. But a lot of the time when packages come out, when things come out, they're just using the normal stuff to run CPU. So it's like they can be accelerated a lot more than just adding Torch. Like, everyone just adds Torch. I'm guilty of it, you know? I'll make like a little web UI and add Torch to make it faster, right? But it's still slow doing certain jobs. And if you're using OpenCV or NumPy, there was another one as well, I can't remember the name of it. But the point is, you can have them all accelerated, and that speeds up everything, not just the bit that is using PyTorch. And there's more you can do as well with like multi-threading and stuff, so you don't do everything on one thread. Another thing that's really common with a lot of these, because the thing is, look, I'm not criticizing, okay? Like, when people make some cool repo, they just want to let it work. Like me, I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, it works, and I let it out to the world. You know what I mean? Is it like, I just want other people to be able to use it. I'm not sat there thinking, oh, is this the most robust and secure thing in the world? I'm thinking, did it do the thing? Because it's like a concept, right? It's not supposed to be a product, but you could take that code and you could turn it into something. Zeus says, Dragon says you need to convert your models to TensorRT before you can use it. And then Zeus says, I noticed it's a rabbit hole. I got a short list of models I want to convert to speed them up. Well, there you go. I mean, look, what's wrong with that, though? To be honest, this is just like quantization. We've all been doing it already, but just with a different name. When we quantize our safe tensors into GGUF, they get smaller. Sometimes they even run faster, like, you know, realistically. And so ONNX, there's another one. Converting your safe tensors to ONNX format so they'll run on that ecosystem. It's kind of this, you know what I mean? It's kind of going to be par for the course, mate, I think. So, because I can remember when safe tensors came out and people were saying, oh man, what's all this safe tensors business? I got to convert my PT files. Oh, it's going to take ages. And it's like, yeah, but if it's good and it sticks, people will do it. But yeah, interesting, nice thing to bring up. Like I said, we're doing a bit of a chill out today, so it's like less about, oh, look at this new thing, and more about just doing a bit of experimentation, chilling out, working on our projects together, having a little bit of chat in the convo. Don't forget to like the stream. Like I say, we don't exist if you don't like the stream. I do have a fun little vibe coding thing coming up in a little bit as well, but I don't know whether it's going to work, because it was an experiment and it didn't deserve to work. Okay. Dragon says, read the readmes. There's mileage in speed, but if you are converting SDXL, you will not see a noticeable speed increase. What about, hang on a minute, Dragon. What about if you took SDXL with Hyper? The 4-step or 8-step CFG Hyper SDXL, merged that into the checkpoint and then did it. Surely that would be faster. Surely. See, I haven't even had a chance to look at all this stuff. Oh. Okay, it's blurry as hell. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. The problem is the mask. The problem is the mask. Okay, so what? Oh, and the denoise is too high. Right. 0.8. Well, I turned it around and now it's rendering. I think the mask is not good. Like, maybe I'd be better off just drawing just drawing a mask. Alright, well, let's give it a blast anyway. It's all hooked up now. It's just an experiment. So there's the image that we got out of the model. No, not the model. The data set. With my trademark wet printer lines. I don't know, can you even see them on the stream? What with all the compression and that? Anyway. So this is what we're actually giving to the engine. That's what we're actually putting in. Okay. So yeah, God knows what we're going to end up with here. And then I need to make a shark fin, which is a bit random, but it will make sense. I should probably just draw it. It's probably easier to just draw it really crap. Here we are, image generation time. I'm like, just make it crap with paint. It's probably not actually a bad idea. Just do a bit of pixel art. Meh. But it might be worth trying to generate it first. It could be funny. It's probably a complete mess So that's the thing. Sometimes when you make, I need to make something really small. You know, it's like, let's have a look at the dimensions here. The size of the image is unknown. Ah, god damn it. Of course, they're dummies. Hang on. 32 by 24. 32 by 24. Let's see. Zeus says, I haven't read all the text about this subject, but yeah, I did notice Hyper CFG you could add to a LoRa. Funny thing is, I used one of them because it changed my output in a better way. Yeah, I know. Towards the end of the SDXL saga, I was using Hyper for everything. Yeah. It was fine. Especially if you used fine-tuned LoRas. Really nice. Yeah, I don't like the speed of this technique. That's all I'll say about it. Slow. I could have generated like 30 images by now. My God. But it is Chill Out Sunday, so. But yeah, like I said, these images I want to make, they're like tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. It might be worth just opening up Paint, like I said, or Photoshop and just make them. Because it's literally like a little shark fin. That's all I want. It's probably like doesn't need to look that great. Oh no. That's definitely the wrong way round. That's definitely the wrong way round. So I had it the right way round already. That's at least I can tell something, because it's so difficult sometimes to tell. Okay, so it was the correct way round. So one more, please. What's that? How long is it? Doesn't tell you. Wait. No. Oh my God. It's only 214 seconds. Feels like forever, but actually it doesn't take that long. See, this is tricky to do. You know, load the LoRa for the person and then load the different LoRa for the background. Like, we've got everything, you know. We got everything. Yeah, they made all types. There's Turbo, Lightning, and Hyper. I think Hyper was the best one at the end. That was kind of like the last one they did to speed it up. So, yeah, looking at the effects here, we got some nice art grid Sharonas, which are being presented to the image to image. And we're just having a little bit of a second look at this LoRa hook business. I don't know. It seemed to work better the last time I did it, but I was using a bigger mask. Oh well. We'll get to the bottom of it. What the heck? I asked for Photoshop and it opened Microsoft Photos. What are you doing? What are you doing? You goon. Photoshop's not even in my start menu. Work that one out. If it ain't Microsoft, it ain't in there. Okay, Photoshop. Don't embarrass me in front of all my friends now. Ah, Dragon, you missed the beginning. What's the mission? The mission is to explore strange new universes with art grids, but doing it in different ways than usual. Because we already did it one way, we did it the other way, you know, we did it this way. So we're trying to do it in a different way. But I'm also doing like a little side project. What was it called? 32 by 24. This is going to be interesting. 32 by 24. Give me a pen. I got a pencil. There we go. We got a pencil. We got pencils. Oh wow, that's not 32. Are you serious? That can't be 32 by... I should be able to... Look, there's no way that's... Am I being gaslit? Hold up. Yeah, I am. Photoshop. So yeah, when I said 32 by 24, it somehow became 300. I don't know. All right, there we go. Okay. Shush. You swine. Why can't I see the bottom of Photoshop? Hey. Right. That's better. Now then, look at the size of my pixels. Takes me back. Hang on. Let's see. Get rid of that out of the way. Oh, sheesh. It's trying to do it. It's starting to believe. We are getting the Empire background with the Sharona foreground. Trouble is, she is cooked. Why is she so cooked, man? Could it be that you need to turn her down a bit? I'll try putting it to 0.9, but I don't know if that's really going to help. I suppose I could turn the strength down. I'm not really sure what that's going to do, because CFG is for the whole image and the background's great. I suppose we could back it off a bit. Oh, I know what else has happened. Some of her is outside of the mask. No, some of us outside the mask. I think we need to like do mask padding so that she's got room inside this stupid mask. You know what I mean? It's just too specific. When you ring painted the airships onto the floating cities. Yeah, it is a better approach to do it that way, mate, yeah. But wow, basically, inside the mask, it's loading one LoRa, and outside the mask, it's loading another. And that gives us an opportunity to do some really cool effects. Look, this was the input image, guys. And the output is more Thora, and the output is more Empire, but it's this mask, right? So I reckon what I have to do is do mask padding. Which doesn't exist and I just obviously made up. Image pad for outpaint. No, okay, right. I think it's just called... I'm just like... It's not dilate. Grow. It's just grow. Grow mask with blur. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're going to do... Grow mask with blur. We're going to expand it 40 pixels and hope that's enough. No blur for now. Fill holes true. Yeah. We'll try growing the mask. I need to preview the mask. I do. I'm sure there's one here, but they don't, for some reason, show it to you. There it is. It's probably a mod. Okay. Because I reckon this will work. I think that the edges of her overlap the mask, and then you get a gun, you get a weird soldier hat. So I think it might even be like I need more than 40. I need to create like a big area around her. I'm going to say 40 at first because it'll blend well, but it might be I have to go a bit more extreme and say like 100. So let's see what the difference is between these two. That'll be an important thing. I don't normally flip stuff around, but it's just for the ease when we zoom in. Oh God, what the hell? What happened? Maybe I should have said fill holes false. Tapered corners? You know what I mean? We could do a bit of blur though. I reckon we'll go actually up to 50. And cue another one. I'm just trying to give it a bit of room inside of it to move, because right now even one of her legs became outside of the area, because the mask for the person is exact, and so if the diffusion moves her in any way, it might be worth dropping it down on the CFG again as well. It looks really nice at the moment. Yes. People asking me to expand the mask. And is there a way to work with different layers of masks like in Photoshop? Well, you only ever deal with one layer at a time in this, and then you just stack them like, the nodes. So you can do multiple layers, but you just have to be aware that the last output is a combination of the previous layers, and then you're going up the stack as many times as you need to go. So you can just keep putting things on top of things, on top of things, on top of things. I think there's even subtraction masks and stuff like that, so you could even go under as well, but I don't mess around with that stuff that much. Like I said, we're just doing a little experiment. Can you use control net line art canny? You can. If I was to search for canny though, you'd probably find about 100 workflows, so should we find out? Where's it gone? No, that's not it. That's not it. So we're going to say canny. How many hits do we get? 79. I was close. I was close. But yeah, if you want to use canny, just pick one of my canny workflows. There's most likely one for anything that you want to do. And if there isn't, you can pretty much do the same thing I did or modify something that I did to make it. Occasionally it's like, oh, you just need to change the drop down to the new one or something like that. But the nodes are really good because they're designed to work with all the models. Like I said, if it's got native pipeline support, you should be okay. Like now, look at that, I broke it. How did I break it? I broke it spectacularly. I don't think it likes me doing I don't think it likes this, guys. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Everything was fine until I messed around with that. Oh well. Completely knackered. Bravo. Okay. That was fun. Waiting all that time to get that. I should put it on a t-shirt. Yeah, not quite what we were going for, guys. God knows what that is. See, the other method I've got is just like, doesn't do this. And yeah, it does bleed. Do you know what I mean? But I suppose the only other thing I could do is like make the, instead of using a mask out of the thing, just put an area in the middle. Yeah. Load mask. What? Load images mask. What? I'll just do load image. Oh, you got one here? Oh my god, it's trolling me, guys. Ugh. Oh, that's annoying. I just want to do the mask editor business. It's making me do it to things I don't want to look at right now. Where is it? Image? Thing? No? Come on, guys. Hey. Make it bigger. Still too small. Pathetic. My god, is there like feathering on this thing? That should cover most of it, but if it's a close-up it won't work. See, this is a waste of time. Yeah, it doesn't work. Because of the fact that it's set up to take an image every time, the mask is made to be the right size. But if I try to make the mask bigger and then it like screws up, well, you know, it's not worth it. A waste of time. Too slow. The other method works better. You know, it's kind of like, am I a perfectionist to the point where I care if she has a soldier hat? Not really. I kind of think it's cool, actually. So, what we're doing right now is we're using the Laura Hooks method to separate two Lauras being loaded. So you have Sharona inside her silhouette and Empire outside her silhouette. That's what we actually have running. Oh, you bastard. It just bloody worked, didn't it? But I think you can see what I mean. If I put this here, and you'll see... Yeah, let's zoom in on that. So that's the pose and that's the mask, right? So when she's outside of that area of the screen, it's kind of like anybody's, you know, who knows? Who knows what you're going to get? And also the style prompt, it does include like little people and stuff. This is actually pretty good. This is probably the best one we've had out of this. See, the idea is to have the Empire world in the background and the character from a different Laura in the foreground. That's what we're trying to do. But it's kind of hit and miss because of the content of the prompts and all that. It's because we are using randomizers. So sometimes things just aren't the same shape, you know what I mean? Alignment comes from the rhyming nature of it all. This isn't a waste though. This is actually pretty good. Let me just save that and then export it and overwrite it. No, can't. I'm not allowed to do that anymore. Floating guns, you know, that is actually working though. I'll do one more. He says, one more, just one more. Oh man, these poses, man. There's your pose. Someone messaging me. It's the 1st of June. Well, if they are, I can't tell. My phone's useless. Okay. Sitting on cables. Is that a floating gun? Yeah, more than likely, yeah. But what it does show is clear separation of the style of the background and the foreground. Like, that is just her. But then when she goes outside of her mask, it's trying to make guns for her and stuff. But yeah, that's what's actually going into the image model. This is what we're sending in. And that's just an invert to show what was there. But yeah, if the next image isn't good, that means it's like hit and miss. And then it's like a big time sink. But maybe with some changes it could work better. I don't know. I mean, turning down the Laura strength there did help, so perhaps it's worth doing it there as well. But this is like, I don't know, I don't think many people use this way of separating the two Lauras in the same image. But it does have a lot of, you know, I think it's got a lot of use. The only trouble is, like I say, it's almost like I need a second type of mask, which is like a loose mask, which is kind of like a bigger silhouette. Do you know what I mean? Just a bigger silhouette. So that if she changes her pose, she's still inside the safe area. Because it's like, if this, what is it? If this is the safe area and she moves her arm, well, now her arm is made of a different Laura. You see what's happening? So I think maybe like a bigger silhouette. I tried to do expand, but it didn't work. Really, you just want to load this up and paint over the top of it. Can you do this with the preview? What? Well, that's useless. I can't see what I'm doing. Hold up. There we go. So maybe... But that's the thing, though. Because she changes so much every image, if the next image isn't this pose, you know what I mean? It doesn't... Again, so really what you need is like a safe area, which is what I tried to do before. But then even when there's a close-up, she will be outside of it. So you can't even really do anything about it. I didn't know you could make a preview mask like that, though. Learn something every day. Doesn't feed anything, but yeah. Oh, what's all going on there? It's having a bit of a skittish. Oh. Okay. You see? She's got extra arms that's not part of the Laura because it built off of something that went outside the mask. You know, something spilled out. But hey, you want to make multi-arms? There's one way to make multi-arms. Backgrounds look great though. Shame it's all completely messed up. But anyway, going back to what we were working on earlier, this is a much more reliable way of doing things. I've even got some special bits so you can have like clear titles and stuff. But yeah, this is better. The only thing is, like, the concepts are actually bleeding, and that's why we went on off a little side quest there, just to see if we could like separate them again. Okay. And there's your input images. This one? No. I clearly hit stop at some point. They don't match at all. Or do they? Wait. Maybe they do, actually. That colour blob is the same shape. So it became a group of people because of the prompt. Alright. Let's try a different blend. So at the moment, we're blending with Empire, right? Let's try Outpost 18. No, that's too specific. Have I still got black? Where is it? Yeah, we do. We've still got Black Sun. 33E4. Do I have a Black Sun with a capital B? No. So it is that one down the bottom there. Alright, black sun. Let's come in here for the black sun. Wait, no. Black. Okay, and we're using V33, so we use the V3 prompts. So if you missed this part, we are injecting a randomizer into the middle of the template prompt for the character. Okay. This is nothing. You should see node congestion. This is fine. Over here, we're taking the image, which is going to be used for image to image, which is in this case this one. And then we're going to be putting it through the art grid stuff, just like on the other side. But we're doing a whole bunch of extra stuff, like color dodge with blending, which has different effects. Different types of grid. So, for example, you can label them. And the square grid. And how you can flip it or invert the colors. So there's all these different options you've got, just like that. And then when they actually go into image to image, this would be the output that you would have gotten from an image to image using this setup. But with the art grid, we get something more like this, which is actually like closer to what it's supposed to be, but you do get some weird stuff going on. And different art grid, different setup, same seed, same prompt, same everything else. So it's just like splitting your dimensions. Even these are like really nice for promo shots and whatnot. Even like I said, the inversions will sometimes reveal interesting stuff. And then we've got all these lovely comparisons. So yeah, let's just chuck that back on again. So the detour with the hooks, it was fun, but I think it was a waste. I still don't think. I don't know. They're too slow. That's the bottom line. I can't wait 3 minutes for an image failure. I'd rather just do in painting. It's quicker. Or just overlay it and in paint the edge. Still quicker. It's funny, I haven't even had to do that with this. It just works, guys. So, zooming in and clicking on, what are we doing? What? He's doing that one first for some reason. So we're going to be using Black Sun, which is a dark sci-fi style. Maybe. That third leg comes in handy. Doing all the grids, right, so then we get the normal image to image output. They're all set to the same denoise. Oh yeah, don't forget there's a little eye. So if the lines, you know, if the lines get in the way, you can just turn them off. Okay, so that would be a result, an image to image result. It's kind of funny how it came out. And then we're going to get a grid result and see the difference. What's she doing? She's spearing a robot. A robot? Yeah, her model is super trained. We're actually testing a fast train from Replicate, by the way, as well. It's kind of doing multiple things at once today. You know, my train is probably... It'll be looking the same, but it will behave differently with tasks like what we're doing right now. Okay. Hands are a bit gnarled. But we're not doing any control net. See, one thing I do like to do with this setup, just to get the, you know, hands and things, if I want to make them better, I'll just use a control net pose, and the system already has all of the poses baked in. The problem is, again, they don't always match the dimensions. It's like some things give different dimension sizes. It's just one of those horrible things you got to watch out for. But yeah, here she is before she's being sent in. As you can see, V3 has a different color palette than V4 and V2 when it does its conversion. So you're putting this scene in, and what do we get out? Are you kidding me? There's no way they came out of there. I don't believe you. I mean, it could be. There's no way. It looks like it is. It looks like it's just completely, yeah. It's completely changed it. It's like 4 completely different images. Hang on a minute. There's people shouting outside. Ugh. God knows. So, yeah, like I said, I think that the different blending modes is probably going to be quite an interesting one, because you get this under control with like fine tuning this setup. I think this is going to be, like I said, it gives some really interesting effects. Like here, I like what it's doing with the sky. Interesting. Okay, so the art grids are done. So now it's going to make image to image first. That's pretty good. Not bad. So now let's see the image grid mess me up. Come on. That's alright. That's alright. It's a different thing though, you know? It's a different theme. It's like a different type of sci-fi. Dark hair, it didn't change it. It's interesting. Oh, this one's interesting as hell. Doing some interesting. Oh yeah, we haven't been looking at this one, the invert. So when you do the invert, obviously it does different stuff as well. So a little bit of color control. Nice. See what I mean? That's basically the same thing, just inverted the back. We just inverted the back. Other than that, it's the same input. You know, the background colors were inverted, nothing else. So it's definitely worth checking out, I think. Oh, that's cool. Nice aesthetic. The damn stone is in every single thing. It's almost like it's a more important character than Sharona. See, there's all the rocks. Look, they're all the same. Just annoys me. Again, this is all from the same image, right? That's something important to point out. All of those came from the same image and setup, you know. So you get all that. It's pretty consistent, and she's actually in a completely different style, right? Let's just turn this off, and I need my noodles. What do we got here? So Sharona fixed it at Empire style. Oh, damn it. I forgot to... Oh, well. Some of them images would be a different combo. Makes me wonder, what was Empire style run 2? I don't even think I did a run 2. I must have broken something with run 1. That's probably what that was. Photobombed by a rock. Again. I know. Terrible, isn't it? And let's try something else. Let's try putting her in Prompt Eater. Maybe. Try putting her in Prompt Eater. Do I even have that one here? Oh, yes. Oh, someone's got a chicken chaser. Still making the last of this one, isn't it? Yeah. It's not bad, though. Doing a little sci-fi spin. Just like not as heavy as the last one. The last one was super heavy. Oh, wait. I take it back. It's funny. This is supposed to be the dark sci-fi. It turned out to be the bright sci-fi. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's cool. Oh, look at that. Color dodge trick works wonders, guys. I think that's going to work just, you know, if you mask your subject with image to image and do color dodge on that layer and then run it through image to image, I bet it's going to work. She looks like she's in a spotlight. Holy crap. Like overexposed. That's what it normally looks like. We got an extra arm because remember there's a mask. If you go outside the mask, the diffusion's like, oh, there's something I need to build. So in the end, image to image also failed on that shoulder though. I don't know why. So even without the art grid stuff, didn't matter. I do like these flipped ones that we've come up with today. Oh, it's already into the next setup, so I wonder what this one's going to be. It's still doing the set. Right. So we have Sharona in her natural habitat. We have done a art grid image to image and got an inversion for fun. We've also done a color dodge and then we've inverted that one and sent that to image to image. So this one goes to image, top left, and bottom right goes to image to image. We're still waiting for the new art grids. Whoa, that's cool. I didn't even look at that. Whoa, no way. That's Prompt Eater. That's crazy. Also rock. But if we could just ignore the rock that keeps photobombing every image I make right now. Just ignore the rock. It's not important. Okay, so there's the art grids done. She looks great. Very consistent. I mean, oh wait. Actually, her skin is a suit. She's wearing a skin suit, which is slightly worrying. So yeah, there's a little bit of an issue there, but I'm sure we can figure that out. And we have kind of figured it out. Nothing a little upscale won't fix. Okay, so that's our normal image to image output. My hands are terrible. And the face is kind of like lost all detail. Okay, and then we get the art grid on the case. She's doing the pose. The background's interesting. Rock bomb, as usual. Oh, look at that. It's even done the stuff. Look, it's even doing the thing. It's doing the thing. This is why I like these sort of big black square third, right? Because it does different stuff. It doesn't always cut off. Sometimes a hand will come in, or it'll shape it all. In fact, oh, look at that. It did it exactly for me right here, look. Which is interesting when you're putting together labeling and stuff. It does, doesn't it? All it needs is the text. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Because that's what I'm sort of looking at now. I'm looking at like more interesting ways of putting it together and getting more images out, you know. This is going to have a little bit of an anime style to it because of the subject, like the prompt eater is a LoRa, an anime LoRa. What's this? So this will be the V2. I don't know why it does the V2 last. Because when I go to print, I want to be able to easily put things together and then approve the best ones. I want to be like mucking about. Like, look at this sheet. Look at this spread. Okay, sure. Images aren't perfect, but I haven't upscaled them. This is really nice for a starting point. If I want to be like, oh, welcome to the world of, and you can put a thing here, Sharona. You know what I mean? It's consistent enough. Oh, she didn't have a glove on. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's get a close-up. This is going to be interesting because she's sitting across the page. Aura shot. Oh, it's doing this one first again. I don't know why it does that one first. It's bizarre. Oh, that was such a... Oh, no. So close. It ripped her apart a little bit. So it doesn't work. But you see how every now and then you get something interesting? God knows what's going on in the background. The prompt is excessive amounts of cables and wires. Just for the... in case you're interested. She's got a bit of a Joker smile on her makeup there. The lipstick's run. But yeah, as you can see, this is what we gave to the engine. No pose, though. Right? No pose. And the pose can actually help a lot. Because it even includes fingers. You see what I mean? But if I wanted to add control net to all of this, it would take a lot of work right now. I'd be better off deleting all the green squares and setting one up with control net pose and then duplicating and creating all the rest. That would actually be quicker. Like a lot quicker. The only pain in the arse would be figuring out which ones I was actually hooking up because I've written labels in for all the grids. And I'll probably break it. Where are we right now? Oh, we're down here. This is usually an interesting one. Oh, yeah, nice. Ah. Damn. Better luck next time, Snake. But you can see that it's trying to do this interesting stuff for me. Which, if you were then to make this transparent, you can do even more stuff with. It's just a shame it's kind of gimped, that one. Oh my god, they're all... look at this. Oh no. They're not coming out well. We do need the pose. The power of pose. I wonder if I could do it so that all of them just get the same one. It goes here. I mean, they've all got the same prompt, so they don't actually need Oh, it's being quiet. Okay, that one's okay. And that one's okay, actually. Bit weird, but it's okay. Facial expression isn't great, but yeah. Ulysses 31 is based on Homer's Iliad. If you're talking about the old cartoon show, yes. They even have all the same names. But yes, I believe you are not mistaken. Okay. But have I done enough? The answer is no. It's never enough. It's never enough, but I wanted to show you something fun, as I say. So let's just do this thing which I was talking about earlier and forgot about. So I want to make a layer. I want to make it, I don't know, grayish. Grayish. And probably... Probably something like that. Maybe a little bit of a thing there. Oh, nuts. I love Photoshop, isn't it great? Yeah, we can make that like not bigger than the whole picture though. That'd be great. There we go, cool. Could have sworn that you could just like push a different button and it would be a remove pencil. But clearly I'm thinking of paint. Yeah, see, now I'm getting into it. That one needs to go. Just that one, though. Not all of them. Just that. Oh, nuts. Okay, get rid of it and then put the other two back. I just don't know. What are we doing here? You know, what are we doing? I don't need to be messing around with alpha, thanks. So leave it like that. Something like that. And then just like a really crappy... like that. And then maybe I like get a darker blue. And then a lighter blue. Overdone it. I think that works. Maybe like that. And then like maybe get like, I don't know, like a darker line. Nah, it's too crappy. That maybe. Nah, it's too on the nose. Just leave it like that. Okay. So what have I got? Save as. On my computer. Yeah, do you know what? Fine. Finn. Yeah. Oh, what's this that's hiding on the wrong screen? Stupid. Right, so it's like, what am I even doing? Well, trying to make a shark fin. And I think it's fine now. I'm still not happy with the shape though. Whatever. And my idea is, for placeholder, I will make a 2-frame animation. So basically, if I just export this one, what the hell is it being so stupid? I've done this a billion times. Alright, come back. And I'm going to say shark fin. And then I'll just say assets. And I'll say fin swim 1, right? And then if we get my selection tool and we just move it up 1, up 1. Yeah. Save as. Not freaking stupid. Why do they make it so hard to save things? You know what I mean? What's going on with that? Why is it so many buttons? It used to just be Control S. Like they just, oh, you have to use PSD. Okay. Up 1 again. Bloody hell, man. What am I going to do? Alt, Shift, Control, W? Bro. Change it to Control S. I don't even know what's going on right now. What is this crap? Do you know what I mean? It makes me feel old. It's like, oh, it makes more money to make it so you can't just save PNGs. You've got to go through all this nonsense. Right, let's now make it go down. Yes, we're finally getting there. My God, man. Can you see why everyone used macros? Oh my God, man. It's like freaking 16 clicks to save a PNG. Down 1 more. And then back up. Now, that's not enough. Cock. Okay, 1 up again and it's going to look weird, but do you know what? That's fine. It'll give it a sort of wobbling, a bit of a bobbing type thing. You know? God knows how I'm going to do the jaw bite thing. I'm going to do that. Make like a stupid mouth. Wow. Oh my God. This is what it's come to. Okay. So we've got our files. Let's have a look at the output from this lovely workflow that we've been cooking. So remember, I'm merging this with a very old... It's actually kind of interesting what it's tried to do here. She's cooked, but I normally fix that in the upscale. Alright. Oh, it's still cooking. Lots of birds. It's fundamental to the story, in fact. Wait, have all the birds been masked? No. No. It just looked like it. This is the art grid. You can find it in the SVG suite. Here's an invert result. And yeah, we're just doing all kinds of craziness. It's all thanks to the SVG art grid node, which is an image grid generator. It's like a procedural art generator. And like I said, you can do all these crazy different combinations. We've been showcasing a lot of those today. and it unlocks a little bit more from your models, even though the character control has been a bit ropey with me on this one. I'm just like throwing awkward combinations at it at this point to see what happens. Let me see now. There's one thing I want to show you guys before we finish. So this is obviously the Cyber Society. In these ones, the characters blended perfectly. So it's just a case of which model. Some models blend better than others. We discussed collision yesterday, the concept of colliding concepts. What a concept. But yeah, let me just see now. I have to grab a file. Because I've got something what I done made earlier, guys. So let's bust out the VS Code. So, like I said, this is all actually related to a big long-term writer's room project where we wrote all the books a few weeks ago. So the books are written, then we make the art for the books. You see? Look at this. Do you like this? Make me prompt. And then this is prompt. Using words, but more detail. We did this yesterday for fun. Okay. That's not actually the VS Code I'm looking for. I need a new one. So let's get a fresh from the barracks. Open folder. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to Tools. And Shark Fin. There we go. That's what I wanted. And now I just need to find the download. Where is it? Unconfirmed. What are you talking about? It's 200 kilobytes. Look. It's 200 kilobytes. How is it unconfirmed? Useless. Download it again. 2 unconfirmed files. Whoops. Yeah, it won't let me download it. God damn it. This means they're reading inside the zip files, by the way, which you can do easily, just saying. Because there's a program in there, it's a development project. Google! Suspicious download blocked. Download it, you nosy D. He's so nosy. Malicious software. You cheeky bugger. Right, do you know what? Just look, yeah, download that one too. Do you know what, mate? It's the nannying. Okay? It's just something I put together. Anyway. Alright. Give me my source code. And the driver files too. Damn it. Alright. So we'll X out of there. Close that. Close that. Open this one. What a palaver, man. All I wanted to do was just show you this thing, what I have made. First thing though, we have some files to change. These aren't real. Right? These are real. So let's see if we can break it before it even worked. That's my plan. So we need to change it to Shark Bite 01. No, not Shark Bite. Shark Fin Swim. Shark Fin Swim 0 and then a number. Okay, so if I just delete that one and then 1. Okay. Wait a minute. No, that should be good. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Did I miss up? No. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, I'll admit, the bites, they ain't going to work. They ain't going to work. What size are the bites supposed to be? Same size? Locking me out of my machines again. 60. Wait, what? How is the bite sprite 64 by 64? Okay, well, it's bigger, I guess. 64 by 64. Okay, new. 64 by 64. Yeah. He's done it again. He's such a liar. 756 we got this time. Alright, 64 by 64. Okay, delete this. Why is it over here? It's completely useless. Oi, go away. Get rid of this useless flat white. Okay. Oh wow, did you see they've put a new video tutorial on how the paint bucket works? Man, I'm going to have to check that one out later. Let's see. If I just go black and white real quick. What I really need is something really crappy. That would be the best. I got it. We'll make it really crappy. Hold on. Circle tool, yeah. Like that. But it needs to be a blue outline. So it's like water. Okay. Kinda. Alright. And then I'll just literally get like a pencil. Oi. Pencil. There we go. And I'm just gonna rasterize it. Right, okay, so just draw some bad teeth. It's just teeth. Just a teeth. Just lots of teeth. So that's not how sharks work. Oh, crap. The teeth are getting really big. That's not a tooth. This is a tooth. Oh, crap. I'm just going to freehand it because it doesn't even matter. Where are we? Come on. I just want something like a placeholder that looks roughly like it. Could probably do better than that, but it's fine. I'll keep it. This is fine. Give it a little bit of a point there. Yeah. What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay. So we have a mouth, right? Now, I'm going to be a complete hack. So here we go. We're going to save this. Should we just save it as what it should be called? That probably saved me a few steps here. Shark Bite 01. So, hang on a minute. Oh, I just had an idea. Oh, but it's too small. I was thinking I could use interpolation to go from open to closed. Do you know what I mean? But I think I got a different way of doing it, so yeah. How about... Okay. So what's it going to be called? Shark underscore bite? Yeah. Shark underscore bite underscore 01. Okay. And then I'm just going to not select all. Select this guy. And rotate it a bit. Rotate it a bit. And save it again. No, not that one. Control Shift Alt W. Isn't, hang on a minute. Stop. Isn't close Photoshop W? Look, freaking, why would you do this? This stuff gets me going. So it's close, Control W. Close all, Control Alt W. Export to PNG, Alt Shift Control W. What? Are they not just trolling at this point? So, like, that combination closes the project, yeah? But if you want to export as a PNG, just add Shift. It's close project with Shift. Does that make sense? Blows my mind, guys. These are the billionaires, you know, this is the big one. Blows my mind. So every now and then something will get me like that. I'll be like, why did they do that? Look, I suppose I could just change my own bindings, so it's my problem. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, it's just a bit of a weird choice. Because I don't plan on saving this. It's not really important. Oh my god, I picked the wrong one again. So you've got two choices as well. Quick export, which is the save, or export, which is like got a menu and puts it in a subfolder and does a load of other nonsense. Anyway, enough of that grumbling. I'm just getting hungry. A little bit more. Okay, quick export. Yes. See, I like having to think about it. I'm wasting at least 2 seconds every time I do that. All right, and then we're going to go for the chomp a little bit. Go for the chomp a little bit. Why can't I save it? I've got to click the stupid tick. All right, cool. Yeah, nice. The stupid tick, everyone. Don't forget the stupid tick. It's important. Maybe I'll give it another little twist. Maybe we'll twist back the other way. Yeah. I bet it'll all play so fast that you can't even appreciate the animation anyway, but... Okay, so we're now halfway through the animation. He is open mouth appeared, twisted, expanded. So now it's time to crush it. Right? So we're just gonna do that. Maybe a little bit slower than that, but yeah. Bloody stupid Photoshop. 7. Maybe we get a bit wider as well in the chompage. Yeah. It's like I have to think every time I look at the bloody button. It used to just be a button. You just click Control S. Anyway, maybe I can check. I could probably like fix all of this. I bet it's all just user error. I'm just doing it wrong, so don't worry about it. It's fine. Let me grumble and I'll finish in record time. So who cares? Oh dear. And now we start to bring it in a bit. Bring it in. How many frames have I got left? 2. So this one is going to be yo. It's almost like no point seeing it, but it's like maybe we'll just give him a quick repointing, guys. It's going to look weird. Kind of not pointy enough now, but whatever. Whatever, man. I take far too long over placeholder stuff. Okay, and then you guessed it. It's gone now. I should have done like slammed shut teeth for a couple of frames at the end, but yeah, that would look best. Like, ugh. And then he like sinks beneath the waves. That'd be cool. But like I said, we're just doing a what? Say no. Just say no and then be like, where the hell did I save those files? Don't know. Documents? Pictures? Oh crap. I've actually done it. Where did I save them? Every time. Dumbass. So I didn't even read it, you know? Every time I hit save export, I didn't read it. It was a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Now I gotta waste more time. Yeah, thin. Yeah, cool. Export? Where the hell were you putting everything? It was going into Tools Shark Fins. What? But I just looked in that folder and they weren't there. Oh. Ah. Why is the last one not saved? It should just be a transparent PNG. Hold up. Maybe it is. What the? No. Photoshop being Photoshop. So looks empty to me. Wait. Yeah, it's empty. Okay. So it's fine then. Okay. Just looks weird because it's like, you know, one of them square is white. I'm like, oh, what have I done? But nope, it's fine. So let's just overwrite those. And then we've done the art. The art is done. Now, obviously, in the version I'm about to show you, the graphics have already been built. Okay, so, and it might not even run actually. Let's just find out. I might need to install .NET 6 or 8 or something. And now we wait. Oh, there's definitely... Oh, what the... Wait a minute. He doesn't know what two screens are. Haha, screw you, buddy. You can't get me now. No. Okay, so I'm just going to not move my mouse real quick. And you'll see what the shark is going to do. He's not really programmed very well yet. But look, he's now circling where he thinks my mouse is and biting it. Okay? I think you can see what I'm doing here. I'm making a silly thing. If I come back here, it's like whack-a-mole. Anyway, so let's open this up in VS Code. Because it's probably going to be like, oh, you don't even have .NET, which I don't. Okay, so let's open up the thing. Anthropic Claude 4. Yes, extended thinking. Oh, cool. Got that back, did we? There's no point opening these files because it's all .NET SDK and various bits and pieces. Look, but this was like an experiment. I was like, I wonder if we can just do weird stuff in .NET. And the prompt I used was silly. Hang on, let me just read this prompt out because this one's going to make you laugh. I got to come over to this other computer real quick to read this prompt. Yeah. So hang on, let's just go back. Wait. Oh, hang on a minute. I can do better. I've actually got it on this machine. I've realised I used the chat first, didn't I? Right. Hold up. So yeah, like I say, if I just go to my chats and refresh the page. Shark, here we go. Right. So this prompt is funny to me. So this is how I've set it. In older Windows systems, there was a fun feature where Bart Simpson would blow raspberries at you as he hides behind the windows in the UI. I would like to create a fun animation for Windows Desktop that is a shark fin, which is visible being Windows. Anyway, I should say in Windows. Swimming around near the mouse. If the mouse stops for 10 seconds, the shark will eat the mouse. To prevent intrusion on user action, any mouse movement or input will restore the mouse pointer. So it's like a screensaver for your mouse, you know? The graphics will be built externally, and the fin animation and bite animation. Let's discuss planning this. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about and immediately starts making a prototype. So I said, he wants to know how do I want to make this, you know? And so I said, you can suggest the most appropriate options. And so he's decided to just do it with C# and WPF. So native Windows integration. It's using the mouse hook service. It's kind of elegant. I don't know, like, but yeah, it gave me a place to just create the sprite sheets, which we've done. So what I want to do now, and then again, look, it gave me this, and this, and this. And then it just said, yeah, just go ahead and just build it, mate. Just go ahead and build it. Right? So I don't have .NET on this system. .NET 8, please. I'm taking .NET 8. And I'll just quickly install that and then reinstall VS Code, and I'll be able to build this with the images that we've just made. And that should be a nice little upgrade. But yeah, just a fun little thing. Oh, that's interesting, Dragon. Your mother wouldn't let you call the dog Ulysses, but ended up calling it Sam. So you went from one set of gods to another. It's funny. Yep. You got to watch out for that one. Picking the wrong god is that can get you in trouble. It's kind of funny when they usually claim to be all of them. Oh no, did my internet just drop out? Hello? Hello? I think I'm still here. Well. So we've installed that. So we can close. We can close. Yeah. We can close that. What? Just save the document. Right. Right. Yeah, we need to restart it. Oh, and I'm back, apparently. So it looked like my internet dropped out. I was like, oh no. Okay, we're still here. No. Right. I think... I think I just have to type, yeah, I think it's just .NET build. Oh, you dick. He moved my mouse cursor. You dick. So that's what I want. I want the AI to get smart and start moving the mouse cursor so that you put the password in to let him out of his cage. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, oh, I'm just going to move your mouse here. Wait a minute. Specify what? You what, Nate? I must be missing something else. Okay, hang on a minute. We are running. We are running. .NET build. Investigate. Do you know what? I just sometimes, it's like, just do it, mate. Because it's just... You know what to do. Rico! You know what to do. Yeah. God knows what this thing is I'm worried about. It should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, look. So, like, what was the problem? I can see the project's been built before. I'll run the build command. Yeah, cool. Alright, you do that, my friend. Wait, what? I put it in act mode and it bounced back into planning mode. What's going on here? Act and resume. There you go, look. Specify the project or solution folder contains more. Do I have to delete the original build? Is that what the problem is? Oh well, he doesn't care. Just type in the thing and... Wait, no, hang on, what? Oh my god. The shark... Oh! It's because it's running. Alright. I admit defeat. I forgot I'm running it right now. So in order to destroy it, like most well-written software, you have to open Task Manager and hunt it down. There it is. I found him. Highest quality only. Only good vibes. Yeah, sure, you can do that, but it's already gone. I already killed him. It's kind of cool that he was going to do it with a command, though. Yeah, I've stopped it. I stopped it. Please proceed with the build. It was locked because I was running the exe. I didn't realize it needed to use the old exe to do a new build. I learned something. What else do I get to learn? Oh, it's just built. Oh. Okay. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So, kind of underwhelming. Alright. Let's run it again. Whoa. Okay, mouse. I'm not seeing any graphics. I'm seeing a little square, but I'm not seeing any graphics. Also, it's dual. I got two screens, so that's why he's like... He doesn't have any code for multiple screens. Look at that. That's cool. Alright, so let's ask him now. Oh, we need to kill it again. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Kill the shark fin. Windows development, man. Right. I have created proper art assets for the animations, the sprite animations. Animations, we can start using them. And let's see, he should have a sprite engine already made. We'll find out, won't we? And I'll say at, and the name of the folder is graphics. Yep. Okay, go. So it should already be working, but I get the feeling we're using placeholder squares right now. So, oh, I didn't spell sprite right, but that's okay. He knows what I mean. He's like, silly monkey can't spell, but I know what he wants. And then obviously the next thing, of course, is you take the code into DeepSeek and you make it so that it can install itself and spread through a worm. And then everybody has my cool shark app. Isn't that cool? I'm only joking, guys. But you could do that. I wouldn't recommend it. Load sprites currently creates placeholder rectangles. There we go. You have those. I do. So update the file loading approach, add thingy, create the blue placeholder bitmap, so it won't be needed anymore. Okay, looks good, let's go. So yeah, we did a little bit of image stuff, all towards supporting the illustrations of the books that you're writing. And now we're just doing something for fun. Like I said, the prompt, I hope you can appreciate, was very abstract. It was like, oh, I remember this game with this blue spinning hedgehog, and they used to go from side to side collecting rings. do you reckon what you think you could... you know what I mean? And he'd be like, oh, I just built this for you. I'm very surprised with what you can... I keep saying it, what you can get away with, because that is what it is. The system's just become that good. You know, it's not magic, it's science. It's just become that good at reproducing clean code. Is he finished again already? He can't be finished already. No. He's got to do the build. Oh, now we're running into problems. We got some problems. Huh? Wait a minute. Oh, the warnings are nullable reference type warnings that don't affect functionality. Okay. Is he running it? Wait. No way! Oh, you can't see it because it's only working on the other screen. No, he's actually following me around with the correct sprite. Hang on, now I got to do the whole thing. But I need to do the reveal. Go on, bite. He's going around, and bite. Okay, it's interesting. The fin doesn't go away when you get bit. So before it was like a screen was offset, but now you just can't see it on this screen. Okay. It works on my primary monitor, but not the second one. Okay. All right. Can we kill it here? No, we have to do it here. And task. Because the thing is, I want to program some more behaviors into this thing. So it did actually work. But the problem is I've got two screens. So I should probably say that to him now, shouldn't I, eh? Let's do a quick backup of this bad boy because it's actually working. I'm not a .NET developer. It chose to write in .NET, so now I'm like, oh, you want to write .NET now, huh? Let's write some .NET then. So let's see. Shark fin v 0.0.5 because it is actually using the images now. What I do is I just run an underscore arch folder, old school, but you know it works, and then he can go ahead and do whatever he wants. I just hope they don't get so advanced that they can start rewriting the inside of zip files without asking you, because if that is a thing, I'll start keeping that on a NAS somewhere away from the project entirely. But for now, this seems to work great. So let's ask him about this thing, yeah? I have two screens. Well, three actually, but let's just say two. I have two screens and the shark fin cannot follow me on screen 2. Let's see what he says. That's the problem. I'm not going to be big-headed and try and use technical terms, and it'll probably just lead him astray anyway. Just let him figure it out. It's because there was a transparent overlay that only spanned a single screen, and so now it's going to be dynamic to whatever my multi-monitor setup is. I think that's a good update. Let's roll that out. Somebody get the dev team on the phone. Hello? Do you reckon you've got time to do this thing that... Yeah, I've got time to explain what it is, yeah. What's that? You want to... Yeah, sure, I'll give you a minute. He's going to get a drink before he comes on the call. Yeah, so anyway, it's running in .NET. Yeah. Oh, wait, actually. No, sorry, it's done. I'll call you back. So anyway, it's done. So we don't need the developer to come and do it. Hey, it might be broken though, so maybe I'll need him in a minute. We'll see. But I could just ask Claude to fix it though. Wait. Is it running? Oh, he's running. He's going to run it now. Oh, Sharky. Whoa, okay, the shark is working. He's working. I need to test the other screen. Quick, get away. Oh, shit, it's too fast. So now I want to do is I want to fix the shark's speed. I want to make it so it flips when it's moving left, so it points the right direction. And then I want to give him like a holding pattern, so he'll just swim from left to right and wrap from across the screen. And then if I click the mouse, he'll come over and investigate, right? And then if I'm there, you know what I mean? So I want to make it more advanced now. But yeah, wait for it. 10 seconds and he'll start to circle. There we go. Arr. He's just going to eat my mouse now if I'm idling. He's just going to be like, he's not moving. He's not moving. Oh, wait, does it only do it once? If I move the mouse again. Yeah, look, yeah. He only eats the mouse once and then he's just chilling until you move again and then the process begins. Oh. Arr. I also need to turn off the fin when the jaws come out. So there's a couple of little bits and pieces on this one. But this is actually pretty cool. It's just a joke, guys. It's not even real. But look at it. He's following me around the UI. You know what I mean? And like I said, I want to program the AI of my shark fin now with AI to see how smart we can make him. I did want the mouse cursor to turn off when you get eaten as well. But, you know, this is a nice little first step on this one. Look. It's a simple gimmick, guys. But the fact is, I don't know .NET. We've just built .NET. It's done. It works. Yeah. And I bet I could just continue having conversations like this to make it better. So that's pretty much what we do here. Just come up with a silly idea. Usually I'll have like a convo. Shouldn't the cat be eating the mouse? Yes, Vernicar, the cat should be eating the mouse. But I think it's harder to animate a cat. I can get away with doing a fin. It just bobs up and down. But I do need to make him flip when he's moving left. So the fin looks like it's going in the right direction. And then I want to give him like an idle behavior where he just sort of patrols the screen. You know, until you click. And then he'll come up here and patrol here. And then if you're idle, he'll try to eat you. I think that's fun. It's just a fun little project with .NET, right? As usual, open source. We're going to push this to GitHub, so expect to see the repo just after the stream ends. Speaking of which, this is where I disappear, guys. So it was a pleasure. I love doing the early live streams. But usually we start 8 p.m. GMT. So don't miss. If you're a regular, thanks for joining. If you're new, I hope to see you again. Like the stream, and I'll see you next time.
side, stacks of wire, pictures, oh, clusters.